welcome everyone to the 46th annual banquet of this Byron Volunteer Fire Department, celebrating 99 years. So go ahead and mark it on your calendar for next year's 47th annual, 100th anniversary. I know numbers are crazy. They don't always make sense. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad to be here once again in front of you guys. I know I took a step back from an active role, but it is my absolute honor and privilege to be here for events like these, representing an organization like this that has been a family to me for the last, I've lost track, and I'm good with math, so that's hard to do. This is my family, your family, and for all of you that are here tonight, you are all family, whether you knew it or not. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much for being here. I would like to turn the mic over, which I know doesn't usually happen at these events, but we have a very special guest here tonight, U.S. Congressman Chris Collins. Please welcome him to our humble abode.
Thank you, Rick. You know, what really impresses me the most is that you could afford Rick as your MC tonight. I hear he charges like the really big bucks. He dresses like it. Anyway, it's nice to be with you. I brought some certificates for everyone that when it comes time, we want to honor your service. I want to thank you personally for your service. I can tell you as the Erie County Executive for 4 years with 99 volunteer fire companies in Erie County, you know, that's the lifeblood that we all know of, keeping our communities safe, responding, you know, many cases, the emergency medical calls, the highway accidents and the like. But up here in Byron, 100 years next year, you know, that's a long time. So again, I just want to thank you and tell you that when I've been in Congress now 6 years, going on 7, one of the things that I've spent a lot of time on are fire issues. And I was proud to say last year I introduced a bill called the Firefighter Cancer Registry Act. It's a bit unusual to get a single bill passed, signed into law in the Oval Office, and not be attached to some bigger bill. That's just how things work. This one, though, I was able to get this over the finish line, sponsor in the Senate, the President signed that into law last year, which will let us now have the money to track, in the case of firefighters, cancer, the incidence of cancer, the cause of it, that we can look at safety gear. We all know all the changes. It used to be you take your turnout gear after a chemical fire, throw it in the trunk of your car, and take the kids to a soccer game the next day, not knowing there could be effects from that. So right now on a volunteer basis, and most fire companies already have the records, we're going to record all of the responses people have to different fires, what type of fires they are, and then over time track if something like cancer occurs, we can look at that cause relationship and compare that across the country. And only with that data can we continue to improve and make firefighting safer and safer. And you've seen that with a lot of the changes here, you know, over maybe the last 10 years. So I've always wanted to be someone that advocated for the fire departments. As county executive, I built the 3 new live fire towers that we put up in Erie County that I know are actually available for fire companies in other counties. It's just a much better way to train. So I want to thank you for what you do in Byron. Congratulate you on raising enough money to hire Rick to be your MC tonight. And look forward to coming back for the 100th. You know, we only do those every 100 years, I mentioned that. So thank you for letting me stop in. Again, we have certificates for folks later. Hope you'll enjoy those, and hope you have a great evening, a great night, and I guess you're back up, Rick. Chris Collins, come on. Maybe you can afford a haircut.
I can finally pay somebody else to cut my hair. I don't know if you can tell, I do this myself. No, thank you very much. I know it's really easy in this days of 24-hour news cycles to just imagine that all our elected officials do is talk and talk, but Chris Collins specifically has had our backs for years, and it's wonderful to have him here tonight. and I'm grateful for all the work that he's done to keep us safe and to look out for us.
I'll call your name. Administratively, we have the President, Steve Lochner, Secretary, Michelle Weatherall, Treasurer, Tammy Wells, Sunshine, John Duran. I know he's in Florida getting some, so he must be bringing it back for the committee. Chairman of the Boards, Tony Barniak. Board of Directors, Ken McKendrick. Kevin McKendrick, Tim McKendrick. Chaplain, Kevin McKendrick. Our Sergeants at Arms, Corey Russell and Jacob Schultz. Under Firematic here, we have the Fire Chief, Robert Merzak. First Assistant Chief, John Duran. Second Assistant Chief, Zach Johnson. Captain, Victor Flanagan. Lieutenant Paul Carr. Second Lieutenant, Shelby Fairchalk. Fire Police Captain, Lisa Flanagan. Safety Officer, Daniel Stevens. On the rescue, we have Captain Brad Nickerson, Lieutenant Michelle Weatherall, Secretary Catherine George, Treasurer Laura Platt.
Yeah, you didn't sneak out of
Medical
this.
Director, I don't know if he's here or not, but Dr. Eric Peterson. The Ladies Auxiliary, the President is Laura Platt. Vice President Tammy Wells, Secretary Michelle Weatherall, Treasurer Judy Yeager, Sunshine Elaine Barniak, Special Events Michelle Weatherall, Board of Directors for the Ladies Auxiliary Elaine Barniak, Patty Iman, and Barbara Reed. For the exempts, we have President Tim McKendrick, Vice President David Behringer, and Secretary Ken McKendrick, and Treasurer Tony Barniak. Quite great list there. One, I know how important it is when you take these roles and how much time you have to put up. You know, your spouse or significant other or friend, whomever it might be today. There's a tremendous amount of time that we're not at home. Not only with the calls, but the training that's required that we have to do, and the Emergency Management Office does appreciate the work of every department in the county and what you do for us out there. So at this time, if you'd raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
To uphold the Constitution of the United States.
Uphold the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the State of New York.
The Constitution of the State of New York.
And the bylaws of the Byron Fire Department.
And the bylaws of the Byron Fire Department.
And I will faithfully discharge.
And I will faithfully discharge.
The duties of the office to which I have been elected.
The duties of the office that I have been elected.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
You can lower your hands. And
Unlike our
I, as a
state
installing
fellas.
officer, now declare the officers of the Byron Fire Department duly installed for the year 2019. Congratulations.
I had no idea that Jim was planning on retiring, and so this is the last time he's going to stand before us in this capacity. Please give a round of applause. Jim has been an absolutely tremendous asset to this community, to this county, to fire service in general for way longer than I've been part of any of this. I don't even really feel comfortable speaking to how much of a contribution he's made because I've been a little blip in a large pond that he helps to fill, and thank you.
Well, Rick, I can say that, we'll go back in history. There's a lot of people in here that have been students in a lot of the classes I've done. I've taught out to the Fire Training Center since 1995. That's when they brought me on. 96, I went on to fire investigations, and have been doing that since that time. But I've been in the fire service since 1972. So those that go back that far, we got Pete Lochner and I were, I think, chiefs about the same time. There he is back there. Peter and I were good buddies there way back when. So history goes way back here, and I appreciate all your support and help over all these years. Thanks.
That's awesome. All right, to present the Firematic Summary and Awards, because yes, this is a primetime awards show. Please welcome Robert Merzak. Oh, he's right there. Thanks, Rick.
First off, I'd like to thank all the other departments for their assistance this year. We've had a tremendous year, a very busy one. and we couldn't do it without all our mutual aid departments. So thank you very much for your assistance and your help. It's not easy for a firefighter, an EMS, most of our first responders. The time that's taken away from home, your family gatherings, your children, your grandchildren. I know firsthand, with 13 grandchildren, it's quite an obligation. It's a commitment that you make all hours of the night, every day of the week, holidays, it doesn't matter. When the alarm goes off, we're there for you. So just keep in mind the time that these volunteers spend helping others, cold weather, warm weather, night, day, holiday, we're there for you. So just appreciate the time that they do spend, that sometimes they're not gratified for, or they're not really knowing a lot of what happens out there because we don't tell all. There's a lot of things that go down that we would like to tell, but we can't. But I know a lot of you that go home and try to sleep at night after some of the fires, accidents, and things that do happen. You live with that. And we try to get along and keep going forward. So thank you to everybody, especially the Byron Fire Department as well. Our calls for last year, we had 231 calls. And believe it or not, this year, right now, we're already up to 52. So we've had a tremendous start to the year. Our number of calls, total man hours that were spent on these calls, 1,734 hours. And that could go either way. We know we could add or subtract a little bit from that. So we had a total, let's see here, building fires 7, chimney fire 1, vehicle fires 2, off-road vehicle fire 1, brush fire 1, grass fire 2, rubbish or trash fire 4, crop fire 1, for a total of 20 there. Rescue and EMS calls, 124 total. MVA calls with injuries, 15. MVA calls with no injuries, 3. Search for one lost person, which was with the Barry Fire Department. All the departments chipped in a search for a lost person there. Extrication of victims, 2. We had 2 false alarms, 2 malfunctions of smoke alarms, 2 unintentional smoke alarm calls, 3 CO detector calls, a total of 9 there. Hazardous conditions, 1 gas leak, 1 CO detector. Power lines down, 7. And vehicle accidents, cleanup, 4. Service calls, cellar pumps, 7. Smoke removal, 1. We had 10 mutual aid fill-ins and move up to actual scenes for a total of 18. Dispatch calls outside our district were 21. Some of those canceled en route. Hazmat 2. No incidents found calls 2. So we've really had our total of a lot, and I know a lot of them are on the EMS part of it. And like I said, some of those are terrific motor vehicle accidents that we have to bear with when they happen. Some of the other guys that they're not here tonight, that are behind the scenes that Brian Force, Byron Super Highway Attendant, could pick up the phone, call him anytime, day or night, and he'll say to me, "What do you need, Bob?" And he's right there. Whether it's bring the loader, heavy equipment to move a vehicle off the road, sand or salt the roadways because of a major fire. He's one of the ones behind the scenes that you don't know about. Byron Auto, Roger, same situation. Called all hours of the night, doesn't matter what day of the week it is, weekends, holidays. He's our tow guy. When they call him, He's always there. So that wraps up our calls for the year. Okay, we'll go on to the fire awards. I don't want to keep you here too long, so we'll try and go as fast as we can to enjoy the evening. Fire Department Service Years Awards for this year. Rick Lucas, 5 years. And I'm only doing this because I hope the night goes faster if you get back up here.
Wow, look at that.
Food, drinks, and award.
Right?
Talk on the mic.
Man. And they said you couldn't afford me.
Well, we made some exceptions.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
That's awesome. What guy like I have no idea.
Don't worry, I'll get it back somehow. Jacob Schultz, 5 years. Ken McKendrick Jr., 40 years. I didn't give him your age, I just said 40 years. And next, for 45 years, David Behringer. Thank you for your service, David. Thank you. He might not want to come up, but David Leeton Jr. 47 years. Jim Hutchinson, 50 years. It's a little heavy, so you're going to have to hold on.
Okay, I got it.
Bill Zeifogel, 55 years. He's not here tonight, but we will make sure that we pass this on to him. Most training hours for the year goes to a young lady that's got a lot of spirit. a lot of heart. Just starting out into the department, really giving it her all. Whenever she's got a question, she comes forward with it. She never hesitates to ask for guidance or what she can do better or how she can improve. She's always willing to go above and beyond. So for this year, Paige Johnson. Thank you. You know, as you get older, you shrink, you know. Yes. Our top responders for the year, obviously John's in Florida, so I'll accept his on behalf of him. John had 192 calls. And the next one, I'll proud to say myself, 152 calls.
He's so proud he bought himself a plaque.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, nobody wanted to shake my hand. I wouldn't either.
Third, Zach Johnson, 147 hours.
Save it for next year.
Michelle Weatherall, 92 calls. And another one that's been coming up through the ranks, showing her talent, giving her all, Shelby Fairchild. 78 calls. This year, the department, we took a vote, and usually we do a firefighter of the year, but because we consider everybody a firefighter of the year for all their outstanding efforts and time that's put in, we voted on, there's so many other agencies that are a part of the fire departments. This year we decided to recognize the Genesee County Sheriff's Department, who are always there when we need them on our calls. They never hesitate to put their time in the hours just as we do. We've had the good with them and we've had the bad. They do an outstanding job, and Their life is just as valuable as ours, and their life is on the line every minute of the day. So on behalf of the Byron Fire Department, we'd like to recognize the Genesee County Sheriff's Department for their outstanding service and dedication to Genesee County. We have another one that we also decided we cut some of our expenses and wanted to make a donation to an organization that is beneficial to Genesee County and the outside counties also, and they've worked with us very well. Deputy Aaron couldn't be here tonight, so the Sheriff William Sheeran will accept this award on behalf of the Byron Fire Department in remembrance to the Genesee County Sheriff's Department K-9 Destro for his dedication and service, and outstanding service. We have a check for $600 to go towards the Genesee County Sheriff's Department K-9 unit.
Just quickly, while you're thanking us for our service, I thank you for your service. I mean, I say it all the time, and we all recognize this. Where would we be without the volunteer fire services? When we're out there in those accidents and we're asking you to direct traffic or to assist with this or the missing person or whatever it might be. So I appreciate the recognition you give to the Sheriff's Office, but I'd like to also extend it to you because, trust me, we'd be in a world of doo-doo if we didn't have you. Thank you.
We did lose one member this year, Stu Johnson, member for quite a while. So if we could just have a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, I'll call Brad Nickerson, the captain of the Byron EMS squad, up. It was nice seeing you.
So I had a mic opportunity moment, so I'll share. We've got an awesome class of EMTs coming up. They'll be testing out soon. So I'm looking forward to adding them to our EMT ranks. Again, as you know, we get stretched thin a lot of times, especially when both units of calls happen at the same time. So it'll be nice having a group of new EMTs out. And I want to thank all of the EMTs who have been doing all the great things to help out the people here in Byron. I know the new EMTs have got ride time, get all those hours you put in, it'll get paid back. I can tell you after the number of years I've put in, I've got everything back and more. Just kind of being with people you get to see on an ambulance ride. It's drawing, you get plenty of time to chit chat sometimes. Other times you're really busy, but they definitely come back to say thank you when you're done. So I would say thank you to all the EMS folks and all the people who helped in Byron Fire and EMS together. We're a great team. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Brad. So before I call up Laura Platt up for the Ladies Auxiliary, I just want to make one mention. I don't want to get in trouble when I get home. So I want to mention my wife, who's patiently stood by me since I've been back into the fire service. And they kind of call her 401.5. She has a lot of patience for me for the time that I'm gone, for whatever it may be, training, meetings, you name it. She still stands behind me. I might get that look every now and then, like, really, again, tonight? But she does stand by me, and I love her for that, because she helps me keep going with the fire service. And when you've got people that back you and give you that push to keep going, it means a lot. And so, thank you very much.
A push or a whip?
I'll tell you later. I also want to give a special thanks to Elba for standing in for Byron tonight, for the calls. I was going to have Gary do it, but he was at Tammy's house, so I couldn't. I'm sure you will get even with me somehow. So without ado, Laura Platt, ladies and glory.
We have the best secretary here for the fire and auxiliary, Shelley. Okay. We've had a pretty busy year because we kind of coincide with the fire department. I remember some years I don't think we've even had a major fire. This year we've had 2. So I want to thank all the ladies auxiliary and all the others who helped out. Sometimes we just have members of the community come and help out during the year. We also had 2 state of emergencies where we feed the people that are here. Whenever there's a state of emergency, there's always someone at your fire department. And I have a little envelope. Chuck Jerky's not here, but he finally fixed our stove. I'm sure the caterers like that. Without a charge, without a charge for parts. So we have a little card here. I'll get this to him. We also had a member pass this year, Pat Shaw. So if we can have a moment of silence for Pat. She will be missed. New member Rita Stanton, she's not here. She helped out a couple times this year. And now we have some service awards. Mary McGowan, 5 years, she's not here. We have one for Pat Shaw for Corky. Pat put 36 years in, and when you put that many years in a fire department, it involves everybody. So Corky, here's a little gift certificate for you, or certificate, sorry, whoops.
Thank you.
Barb Reed, 35 years. Almost straight. We joined together. We got 35.
So that also means Laura Platt for 35 years.
Oh, thank you.
That's yours.
Seems like yesterday. A. McKendrick, 45 years. A lot of bingo. Right, Iggy? It's a lot of bingo. Yeah. Thank you. I also want to recognize Marion Alexander. She's not here, but she had 49 years in. She got a takeout. Elaine Barniak, 50 years. And our longest ranking member is Bev Barnard. She has 60 years in. She's not here, but we'll make sure she gets her certificate. Okay, now I need Lori to come up. She's going to assist me in this award. Very special award. Okay, this award is for our Ladies Member of the Year. This is someone that has almost been to everything we've done this year. And it saves a lot because she's been a member for 50 years, Elaine Barniak.
Also remembers are a bunch of liars, because they told me they weren't doing it this year.
I'm going to get it later, I'm sure. Well, she comes to every meeting, so we had to do something different. Anyhow, now the auxiliary is going to present an award to the fire department. But before I do that, I got a photo.
Mom, I didn't do it.
It's not from Tammy's house. No, this is taken at Memorial Day by Tim Duzin. He's an avid photographer, and he had it framed, and our trucks were out. He thought it was picture worthy. So he signed it, and he wanted me to present it tonight at the banquet. So. Tim is also Elaine's nephew. Has nothing to do with it. Okay, now the auxiliary is going to present to Bob. Here he is, right behind me. Little figure. The auxiliary voted on giving a monetary award to the fire department for Nomex hoods. I was going to say Romex hoods, but that's not right. Nomex hoods, or half of them that we need for the department to keep our firemen safe. And here's a check. Whoa! made out for $555 to the Byron Fire Department. I had to sign it because Judy's out of town. And I think that's it, right, Secretary?
That's correct.
Okay,
Madam
moving on.
President.
For anybody that doesn't know what the Nomex hoods are, with this new cancer bill information for firefighters, it's a protection that is a higher grade to protect you while fighting fires from what we used to have, and the expense is greatly higher. It used to be maybe $35 for a hood cover to go underneath your helmet to protect your face, ears while you're firefighting, and the chemicals and the smoke. They now average anywhere from $85 to maybe $200 per hood. So thank you, Ladies Auxiliary. We will definitely put it to good use.